is my webcam not working? Hey everybody, welcome to another combat chain stream of FABTL action. My name is Adam Philipchuk, and I am having some technical difficulties. My camera's not showing for you guys. Why isn't this working? Why isn't this working? Oh, okay, we got that. Off to a good start. There we go. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another combat chain stream. I am your host, Adam Philipchuk. Today, we've got another great matchup. We've got Zayne Johnson against Matthias Hittle. Chat, how's it going? So yeah, big match tonight. Matthias versus Zayne. The series for West Coast, Best Coast, and the Oaken is tied one apiece right now. Monday, I faced off against Michael Bond. I was on Briar. Michael was on Starvo. Tight match. Michael ended up taking it in the end. And then earlier today, we had the German national champion, Christian Hawk, against West Coast's Best Coast's Dong Hee Kim. Christian was on Starvo. Dong Hee was on. Christian was on Viserai. Dong Hee was on Starvo. There we go. That's correct. And another great match. Dong Hee was able to open up with an early Channel Lake Frigid that he was able to keep out for 2 turns, and was really just able to tax and suppress Christian Hawk and chip him down to the point where Dong Hee was able to take it. And then in this match, I'm excited to see who we end up seeing for heroes facing off. I do know who Zayne is playing, though I do have to keep that to myself. But based off what we've seen so far, Starvo and Viserai are out for the Oaken Olds at this point. So that leaves Prism for the big 3. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see who we get. I see in the chat a lot of support for Zayne. Capolo, shout out to Capolo. Zayne is my homie. Hugh, I heard this Zayne Johnson guy is pretty good. Yeah, he's not too bad. I'm excited to see him tonight do his thing. And I'm just, at this point, we should be starting off any moment here. I'm just waiting for the details from the TTS server, and then once I have those, I'll be able to take you down to the table, and we'll be able to see. Oh, I see Matthias just popped online here, so I'm gonna go to standby quickly. I'm gonna go check in with the guys and get the table info, and then we'll be back for some live Flesh and Blood Team League action. Yeah, it's gonna be a good one. We'll be right back. All right. We are back. Sorry about the delay there, everyone. We were waiting on we're having some technical difficulties, but we're live. The players are just loading in their decks right now. Zayne's got his. Zayne is on the left. On the right, we have Matthias. Um, and here we go. We've got a chain mirror, everyone. This is going to be a fast one. It's going to be a good one. I'm excited for this. This is going to be a lot of fun. Right on, chain mirror. What do we think in chat? Any considerations? Any spicy sideboard or equipment considerations? Are you running, I guess, quill hand versus grasp? Chain wins. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Chain does win this one. No AB, no fear, all gas, no brakes. I like it. So players are just making their sideboard decisions right now. And chain is mind you, I've been a Viscera main lately, so I'm not the best chain expert. For West Coast, Zayne and Andrew are definitely our chain experts. Andrew's in the chat, Deathmate21. Shout out to him. But I know, and just some interesting chain considerations is the belittle minnowism combo. Like I know a lot of the pros swear by it. I mean, I like it. I know some people say it can get clunky at times, but I didn't say I was bad at chain. I said I'm not the chain expert. But I mean, where are we at on belittle minnowism and chain? Is that an auto include at this point? Are we still on the fence about it? Just dreaming for a new blood debt non-attack action. I think the next time we get a shadow not rune blade, like I mean, that could be a while before we get another shadow rune blade non-attack action with blood debt. Like probably whenever we visit the monastery is my thought. That's when we'll get that support. Um, so that's just a matter of when what the release schedule looks like for what I guess what the new sets are going to look like. Because my theory is each set's going to visit a different, not I guess plane like in Magic, but a different region of Wraith. So whether that be the Monastery. Well, I mean, I guess didn't Monarch kind of cover Solana and the Monastery? Um, But yeah, so whenever we revisit the monastery, that's going to be a while because there's a lot of places to explore, and I don't imagine we're going to start revisiting locations until we've already explored places up front. So we'll see. I mean, yeah, who knows? Uh, Looks like the players are almost ready to go here. I think Zayne's all locked and loaded. Matthias just seems to be finishing up a couple quick little sideboard considerations. With the series tied at 1-1, whoever takes the lead here really does put their team at a huge advantage. Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see how this one boils down. I mean, equipment considerations, I assume both of them are going to play Husk. And at that point, the game's really going to come down to who can use their Husk better. Um, I think that's really a big part of where chain mirrors are decided. Um, and I think the game's going to be decided kind of probably in the mid to late game. So this is going to be a good one. I'm excited for this one. It's going to be really cool to see two experienced chain players duke it out. We haven't seen a chain mirror in a while. You do see chain around, but usually chain's playing into Starvo or um, Viscerai or Prism. That's more commonly what we're seeing with chain right now. So to see a chain mirror, to see it really come down to who can craft and time their turn accordingly to, you know, that really makes sense, that sentence. I don't know. Whoever can, uh, yeah, craft their uh, their turn with, how do I want to say this, with the right timing to really put their opponent on the back foot. That's what this game's going to come down to, because the first person who can kind of get their opponent in that uncomfortable place, and then hopefully not brick on a hand, um, that's that's going to be who's going to, I think, really stand to take this one. All right, so we have our equipment revealed. Matthias is on the skull cap, husk, grasp, creepers. Zayne on a very similar uh, setup. The only real difference is, Zayne is on Quill Hand, and look at that. We actually see Nebula Blade for um, Matthias, throwback to the Seeds meta. We haven't seen Nebula Blade in a while. So this is a 2-for-1, but it gets +3 if you've played a non-attack this turn, and if it hits, create a rune chant token. So 2-for-1 or 2-for-4 on average instead of 1-for-4, but with the added bonus of you're getting a carryover value on it. Really interesting choice. I don't know if I just don't think it's as efficient as Quillhand is, or sorry, as Rosetta is, genuinely. 1-for-4 instead of 2 for Does it really become 2 for 5, I guess? No, because it's 2 for 4, but on the chance that it hits, I mean, I guess if you're playing this under the pretense that you're just expecting it to hit, then maybe it does become better value. Um, maybe but I think at that point there's better argument to be made to playing this in Viserai than Chain because uh, Viserai is going to gain more value off those rune chants you're creating. If this is the meta we're in, where no one's blocking, I could Matthias be onto something. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Uh, yeah, Capola, I agree. Quillhand is quite good. I know me amongst my play group right now, a big debate is Quillhand versus Grasp, and when do you pick which and why? And I know what I personally have been playing around with at this point in Viserai. And now this also changes depending what my sideboard looks like. And in Blitz versus CC, where I have more leeway with my sideboard. Oh, or just saying Quillhand and Vismir 100%. Who? I mean, for a little bit, I for sure was on that page. Um, right now, there's some debate that maybe if you're stuck going for, because here's the thing: is in the Vismir right now, Quillhand is also fine because right now in the Vismir, you're trying to play that tempo game. You want to go second. Um, you want to go second, and uh, their Quillhand is uh, great to have because you're fine to just do whatever to get the tempo play, and you can kind of just sit back on Quillhand until you really need that explosive burst out of it. But if you do end up going first, the better play going first is usually just to try to build value to carry over into a future turn. And Quillhand kind of isn't as good there because you uh, now you are unable to make a rune chant on command, and that is where grasp is nice at times. So it's an ongoing debate, I think. But let's actually tune into our game here a bit and see where we're at. We already got Zayne down to 33. Everybody's on Shackle 1. It appears to be Zayne's turn. He's going into Shackle 2 right now. And he's going with chain activation into a red minnowism, into a belittle. So that chain activation, the go again, is actually going to carry over past the belittle and the minnowism because neither of them are shadow or runeblade attack actions. And that belittle's coming in for 6 with go again. No reveal on the belittle, so he's not going to be fetching for another minnowism. But then he's coming in with the ghostly visit, and now the ghostly visit will get the go again off of chain. So this is another 4 with go again. We've still got 1 resource floating, so we're easily able to swing Rosetta after this and then arsenal a card. Super great opening turn for Zayne, or not opening, turn 2 for Zayne, taking Matthias down to 34. Issue for Zayne here is Matthias is slightly ahead. Matthias does have the first arsenal coming back to into Zayne, and Zayne, in theory, is at the life deficit because he's going to be going lower um, still. So Zayne's going to need a really big turn at some point to kind of shift the tempo back in his favor. So we see Zayne's arsenaling that last card, kind of as we thought. He does have the mutated mass and banish still, it looks like, so he should be taking 1 blood debt here, I believe. I'm assuming that's what the mutated mass up in the left is. Unless he already took the blood debt and I missed it. Coming into Matthias's turn. Playing a Soul Reaping, banishing 2 cards from his hand to gain 2 resources. That's 2 cards with blood debt. Go again off a Quicken token. Soul Reaping is a great card in Chain. The fact that you can, 6 for 6 is a lot, but the fact that you can pay its alternate cost, banish cards from your hand to play it. You can banish as many cards as you want. And if they have blood debt, then you gain a resource for each card banished. And it is such a great way to start off a turn and just get gas for Chain. And the fact that it's, it makes sense that it's legendary, that you can only have 1 copy of it in your deck. And it always feels bad when you see this get banished off a Soul Shackle, because it is such a powerhouse when you can get it in your hand or get it in banish, or not in banish, in arsenal, and save it for a huge turn. So we see off that Soul Reaping, we're going into a Ghostly Visit. Is this a red Ghostly Visit? Looks like it. Let's just zoom in on that quickly. Yeah, red Ghostly Visit. This is going to be 4. We have Soul Shackled to 2 here, it looks like, so this should have go again. And Zayne's just thinking about what he wants to do here. Oh, we're going to see a block for 3, take 1. Yeah, and then with that, we're going to play a Riftbind from Arsenal. So that's just going to be another 3. No go again on this. Zayne's going to block that for 3. And then we're going to Arsenal here. My guess is the Riftbind was kind of just arsenaled because it was an extra card to try to cycle the hand, and now we're getting something we really want into the arsenal, and where Matthias is trying to set up for a big turn here. He's got, it looks like, 2 Riftbinds in Banish right now. He did take 2 Blood Debt at the end of his turn, down to 24, which actually bodes well for Zayne to try to equalize that true life total differential across the ebb and flow of the turns. Yeah, so Matthias has 2 red Riftbinds in Banish here right now, and with whatever he's got in Arsenal, if he's got something like a Shadow Puppetry or some Captain's Calls, he's really setting up here for a good turn for sure. So we see the beginning of Zayne's turn. Doesn't look like he hit really anything off his... Unfortunately, I'm not able to interact with his graveyard, but it doesn't look like he really hit anything off his Soul Shackles there. He still got the mutated mass, and he chained into a Shrill of Skull form, so that comes in for 5. And then now he's going to play the mutated mass. And this mutated mass is going to be 2? Twice the number of cards in your pitch zone with different costs. He's only got the mauve, so this is 2, yeah. So we see Matthias is just going to take this. He's not scared. He wants to come back around to the 5-card hand. So Soul Shackle 2 for Matthias. What do we get? Minnowism blue and a Ghostly Visit. So that's 1 hit. Don't put that in your hand. This is going to put the blood debt up to 3. I am curious if Matthias is going to be able to clear his blood debt or even be wanting to clear his blood debt this turn. Is he still trying to carry some of this over to a future turn? I mean, if he's got a whole bunch of non-attack action. Ooh, Tome of Torment. That's not something you see in a lot of chain decks. He is giving it go again off of the chain activation because the chain activation applies to all Runeblade and Shadow actions. So he's able to draw a card here with go again, kind of dig and see if he can find something else that gives him the gas he's looking for on his turn. So we see Matthias is thinking now. He's looking at that ghostly visit. And he's already soul shackled to 3 this turn. So that's kind of when it. Oh, pitching an Art of War. Interesting. Usually you just want to play one of those out. Like, oh, because he's got another Art of War. Interesting. That makes sense. Even then, though, you think you want to maybe play the first one, see how things play out. You can play the second one as insurance. So we see he's banished the Bounding Demigod to draw 2, and I think he's chosen Go again. Tome of Torment is satisfying the non-attack action requirement to play out all the cards from his banish, that being the Bounding Demigod mainly. But he's also playing this Minnowism here. So this Riftbind is going to be +1, +2, +3, so 5, 8 with Go again, it looks like. I'm assuming Art of War is giving it Go again. That is, unless this is coming in for 9 and there's no Go again. That is the other possibility. Okay, so we're throwing the husk. And we're taking 2. So this is 8 with Go again. All right. So we've got 2 cards in hand. Oh, we've got a Mauve Skies. All right, so here's another Go again. And we're going to pitch a Belittle to come in with another Riftbind. So this one's going to be 1, 2, 3. So this is going to be 6 with Go again. And it doesn't look like we have any other sources or resources here at this point. So after this, unless he's got something spicy in his arsenal, it's going to be the Bounding Demigod for, let's see it, for 2. So it looks like Zayne's thinking about this one. Is he going to take it? Yep, taking 6. 17 all, gets a rune chant off, or 2 rune chants off this. Is this a yellow Mauve Skies? Yellow Mauve Skies. So this is 2 rune chants. So that means this Bounding Demigod's actually coming in for 4. 2 arcane and 2 physical. And I think Zayne's just electing to take the rune chants. Zayne ain't afraid of no rune chants. And then with the life deficit there, he's able to use a skull cap for an efficient 2 block. So now at the end of Matthias's turn, he's taking 1 blood debt off the ghostly visit down to 16. And we're coming into Zayne's turn now. Zayne's on a 5-card hand going into shackle 3, and Matthias is at 16. If Zayne can have a really big turn here, like one of those at least 20 damage turns, this could be good. Oh, that's not what you want to see. Oh, a howl, that's not bad. A howl and a rift bind, okay. You don't want to see the art of war. You never want to see the art of war, but the howl and the rift bind, that's there's some potential here. So this is going to come down to, what does Zayne have in his hand? What does he have? Oh, there we go. He's got the art of war. Pitching an invert. So he'll have 2 floating off of this. He's choosing +1, and he's going to banish a ghostly visit to draw 2. All right. All right. Let's see what you got here, Zayne. Zayne's thinking about his turn here. Thinking carefully. Are we looking at that howl here? Yes, we are. So with the 2 floating, we're going to play the howl. Another +3 to his next attack action. The question is, where's his go again going to come from? If he's relying on chain right away, that makes me concerned that maybe he doesn't have the mustard he needs to get a really big turn here. Zayne's thinking long and hard. He wants to make sure this is okay. It looks like thinking about chain. Yeah, it's going to be a chain activation. Shackle to 4. We're going to come in with the ghostly visit. This is going to be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 with go again. Pitching Shadow of Ursur. 2 floating. And I got to think that, yeah, we're going to see a husk here. That makes sense. So that's going to be 2 off of that for 2 points of damage. That gets leaked there. With the go again, let's see what Zayne has. He's looking at his arsenal. He's thinking about his arsenal here. Shadow Puppetry, okay. Now we're talking. Into the Riftbind. So this is going to be 3, 4, 5, 6. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 with go again. On hit, Zayne gets to look at the top card of his deck and banish it. This could be some big gas here for Zayne. So we're going to see a block for 2, for 4. Ooh, and a Command and Conquer. Block for 7. So far Zayne's managed to strip 1 card from, well, Command and Conquer from Matthias's hand. But Matthias at this point is still going to be going into Shackle 3 with 3 cards and an arsenal, and that can still do a lot of damage, especially when Zayne's at 15 life. Especially with the Ghostly Visit and Banish for, yeah, so we're going to see a Rosetta here. So it's going to be 4 more damage. I imagine Matthias is just going to take this. Yeah, he goes to 10. Arsenal 1, take 1 blood debt off of the cusk and pass it over. All right, this is kind of Matthias's chance now. If Matthias can hit his banishes here, and on top of that, if he's got the gas he needs, this could be scary for Zayne. We're going to banish 3. We get a Bounding Demigod red, a Revel, and a Shadow Averser. So the Revel's no good, but the Shadow Averser and the Bounding Demigod are fairly juicy. If Matthias has the non-attack action here, and possibly even some blood debt in hand, there's going to be for the Shadow Averser, there's going to be some good damage leaked this turn. So we see Matthias is thinking here a little bit. He's looking at that Shadow Averser. Let's see if he's got the banish for it. Another Tome of Torment. Interesting. So he's got the non-attack action. He's going to have to activate Chain to give that Tome go again. So I wonder what he's hoping to hit there on the draw. So we're going to be pitching a blue Bounding Demigod. Ooh. So we see that. Oh, so we see the Tome of Torment actually get played off of Spellbound Creepers. Interesting. That's another great way to get an extra card and not give up a go again. Plus, you satisfy the non-attack action requirement for your Bounding Demigod. So we see a Shackle to 4, Ghostly Visit. This is going to be 4 with go again. Zayne's thinking carefully again. Starting to think maybe he can survive. Oh no, he's going to throw the Runic Wreck. Interesting. Block for 3, take 1? Yeah. So he's going to preserve his life total here still to some extent. Keeping in mind that Zayne is going into Shackle 4. Zayne's going to have a pretty big turn here moving forward if he can hold on to his hand. And there we see the Command and Conquer for 6. This is going to finish off Matthias's turn, but this is still going to demand some cards out of Zayne's hand unless Zayne's willing to give up his arsenal. So now we're going to have to see what's more important to Zayne. Oh, he's just going to throw the hand. He doesn't care. Ooh, and an Invert Existence. So let's see what Zayne has to banish out of his graveyard. I imagine he's going to be taking 2 Arcane here. We see a Shadow Puppetry and a Belittle. So this is going to be 2 Arcane dealt to Zayne. And I imagine Zayne's just going to have to take this. Yeah, down to 9. So at the end of Matthias's turn, we see Matthias go down to 8 off of his own blood debt. We're going into Zayne's turn now. Zayne is at Soul Shackle 4, but he's only got one card in hand and one card in arsenal. I gotta imagine he's got a blue in hand. So this really comes down to what he banishes. Banish 1, 2. We do have a Bounding Demigod. 3 and... Oh, that's not what you want to see. That is not what you want to see. This... He's got the non-attack action. He could he can still push some damage here, but it's not going to be the overwhelming turn he needs it to be. Okay, so chain into Captain's Call, choosing +2. He's getting the go again off of the chain. So this is going to be a Bounding Demigod for 6 with go again. Yeah, I see what you're saying there, chat. I'll have to watch it back myself as well. I don't know. Matthias is thinking hard. So this is 6 with go again. Zayne still has a card in hand. He can pop Vex and Quill hand here and then threaten another 6. That's a 12 damage turn. 6 by swinging Rosetta. 4 points over lethal. That's a pretty good actual place to be. We see this is going to force at least a block. Well, he's thinking about a block for 3. So we see this is going to get blocked with a Ghostly Visit and taking 3 still. Will we see a Quill hand activation here? Thinking about it. Yeah, it's going to make 2 rune chants. And the goal here is just to make Matthias as uncomfortable as possible. Try to strip as many cards from his hand. Matthias does not have the arcane. Well, he's got Skull Cap, but he can't practically block. Or, yeah, it's not a practical block at that point. It's not efficient. So he's likely going to be taking the 2 rune chants here and possibly the Rosetta Arcane. That puts him down to 1. He can block any of the arcane with Skullcap, but that requires 3 arcane per block, and that is not an efficient block. So is he opting to take the arcane here, I think? He's moving on to physical blocks. You're supposed to resolve the arcane first, so... My guess is he'll be going to 1 here. Zayne taking 1 blood debt at the end of his turn, going to 8. There we go. Down to 1. So now it's do or die for Matthias. If Matthias cannot win it on this turn, it will be lights out with the blood debt. Oh, 4 misses. That is tough. So there's that's a little bit of hope there for Zayne. We'll see if Zayne can survive the turn. Zayne still has 1 block on his Spellbound Creepers. You hope you have a 12 block in hand, but there are some 2 blocks in this deck. Matthias thinking long and hard about his turn here. He knows he needs to push a lot of damage. He doesn't have a lot of cards to do it. He's got 3 in hand and the Bounding Demigon in the Banish Zone. I even forget what color. We've got a yellow Bounding Demigon. If he can get a non-attack action out, this comes in for at least 3. We've got an invert in hand. Okay. So we do have some blues. We can probably deal 2 arcane. Zayne has no arcane barrier currently. Very tight game, as chain mirrors always are. Ty is still thinking very hard here. And that's typically how it is with these chain games. When it comes down to the last couple or the last turn, you're going to sit and you're going to think and you're going to go through all the possibilities and permutations. So Matthias just trying to figure out if he can find a win here. Zayne hoping he can hold on. Matthias looking over every card in his hand. He's trying to figure out. You gotta wonder, what does he have? We know he's got the invert. He's got the blue there. All right, we see a howl. So that's going to allow him to play his Bounding Demigon. The Bounding Demigon's going to come in for 3-6. No, can't decide what we want to pitch. We've got a Maverian Skies and an invert. How do we want to give this Bounding Demigon go again? So we're going to pitch the invert existence. We're going to float 1. Shackle to 5. Play the Bounding Demigon. Like I said, this is going to be 6 with go again. And then we're going to be able to sword after this, possibly making a rune chant. Yeah. Oh, here we go. Invert existence. Oh. And is that a GG? It looks like that's a GG from Zayne. We have a winner. Zayne's checking what his next banishes would have been. So Zayne takes it over Matthias, just as you predicted, chat. Shane wins. And this puts West Coast Best Coast up 2-1 over the Oaken Olds in week 1 of the FABTL. What a game. What a game. What a game. What'd you think, chat? Zayne the Rock Johnson. I like it. I like it. Well, he says, imagine banishing 4 and not hitting anything. It hurts sometimes. You live by the chain, you die by the chain. And that's how it is, right? Sometimes you just get these incredible shout out to the cats. You say cute cat, there's 2 here actually, and a third somewhere else. I swear I'm not a crazy cat guy. West Coast is indeed the best coast. So far. It's going to be a long season ahead of us still. There's a lot of great competition in this league. And even in this division, I know we've got Michael Hamilton in our division. We've got a lot of other ex-Magic players who are really strong. Yeah, Xander, that is a didgeridoo. But I think that's going to do it for this edition of FABTL action with the combat chain. We do have another match starting up here in just a half hour. We're going to be featuring Nathan Fortin against West Coast, Best Coast's Nathan Fortin against, geez, who's that one against? I really need to write all these down in advance. Joshua Bosch. So that's when we're going to see West Coast, Best Coast try to seal it in, and we're going to see the Oaken Olds really try to hold on and push for Game 5. It's going to be a really exciting game. I'm super excited for it. But until then, we're closing the combat chain.